Don't go back. Come on. Tilly. Tilly. Good girl. Alright, so I'm going in the secret woods so that Tilly can have a run without bothering Caesar Milan and the border collie that I talked about at the beginning of last video over on Michelle After Dark. I didn't intend to do 2 videos today, but as the Summer Wells video is going to be mainly me talking through footage in the comfort of my own home, then while I walk, let's give some updates on other cases. So there are updates on Debbie Collier case, and a kind of small update, interesting information from the Jolissa Fuentes case. So I'll start with Jolissa. And Jolissa's mother was on the interview room with Chris McDonough last night. Very interesting. She said that the police weren't really telling them much. That Jolissa, they know, came back into town. So after going west out of AM PM, instead of going back home, and then she came back into town. She went out and then came back into town. But what the police won't say is like a time scale of all of this stuff. So if her phone last pinged at Avocado Lake and she thought, they think, can't get through that way. I do this every time I come here. And they think that she went through Sanger because she goes through quiet roads, even if it takes her through a town. She doesn't like going on the busy roads and the highways. Then where was she going if she was coming back into town? So, did she go to Avocado Lake at all? Or was her phone taken to Avocado Lake after something had happened to Jolissa? I can't quite work it out in my head. And the police are keeping things so close to the vest because Chris says they must be onto something if they're doing that. Maybe they are. But she called her sister, so she had her phone with her at like just before 5:30. She called her sister, but her sister was in LA at the time and was asleep and didn't pick up. So she made 2 FaceTime calls to her sister. Was she in danger at that point? So, and where was she? Where was she at that point? Was she at Avocado Lake there? Is that the ping? Did something happen to her at Avocado Lake? She's not in the water around Avocado or Pine Flats because Adventures with Purpose have been there. And I trust that if they say they've cleared that lake and Pine Flats Lake, then they've cleared it. But if Jolissa came back into town, then she was never, ever going to be in water, was she? So Chris asked some really good questions. He said, where are the stoplights? Because if you stop at a stoplight and somebody carjacks you while you're at a stoplight, I mean, those things happen, don't they? Then is that the issue? Is that what happened? Here's a contemplation log. Might have a sit. Let's have a sit on the contemplation log. Are we sitting, Tilly? We're sitting contemplating. Let's sit and contemplate. So was she carjacked on her way back into town? Also, what Jolissa's mother, Chris, discussed was the type of people who were out at that time. like 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning. There's not that many people out at that time. Now, in the CCTV footage of her at AM/PM, there was a guy that went out at the same time as her, and Chris asked about that guy. And as far as Jolissa's mother's aware, that guy has not been cleared or identified. Now, it could be that he has, and he's been completely ruled out and they know who he is, hopefully. And he's got an alibi for what happened shortly after, like he went home or he went to work. And there was a car in the parking lot. Now, Jolissa's mother said that that car was an employee's car, so presumably that car has been cleared. And that person whose car it belongs to has been cleared. But it's a farming area, so there might be farm workers out at that time. So Chris spent some time just thinking about the different types of people who were out there and potential sex offenders. And that's a place to start. But where is she? She's been gone since the 7th of August, and the family are still holding out a lot of hope that she's alive and she's being held somewhere. And she could well be. She could well be. Now, one of Jolissa's cousins was missing for 2 weeks after being trafficked, but not in the same town, and they don't have like a big connection with that side of the family, so probably not related. But at least it shows that that general area, therein lies a problem. And a young woman, 22, very attractive, is a target. Sadly, that's the world we live in. So, don't know. Now moving over to Debbie Collier. So Debbie Collier is the 59-year-old woman from Georgia who was found naked and with a charred abdomen, so partially burnt, near a remnants of a fire, clutching on to a small tree, like clutching on at like the edge of an embankment. I mean, it's just horrific to think about. But the latest in that is that they're searching her daughter's house. The media has dug into Debbie's daughter and her boyfriend, and they've both got a rap sheet. They've both got a criminal past, involved in domestic disputes, both as a victim and a perpetrator. The boyfriend has also got a past. There's drug issues. Is that something? Is it? Is that something that's related? So did the daughter give herself nearly $2,400 from the Venmo account, which is under Steve Collier's name, but presumably it's a joint account, you know. So did somebody do that after Debbie's death? Was the argument over money? Was there a drug debt that needed to be paid and they wanted Debbie to pay it and it just got out of hand? I don't know. But the circumstances of how she was found are bizarre. Like, people have been looking at Debbie's husband, Steve, but he couldn't have if he's involved, he couldn't have acted alone because he apparently doesn't walk very well. He's, you know, got some health issues. But does he know something? I don't know. My money is on the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend at the moment. The police don't believe she was kidnapped, as the Venmo message implies, so don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's the latest on those two cases. Latest that I know of, at least. Alright, so let's walk back. Don't know where Cassie is. Is the contemplation log interesting, Tilly? Where's Cassie? Cass! Oh, she's there. She got stuck in there once when she was little. That's... I I call it the woodyard. It's not a woodyard anymore, it's like a different business. But if you can hear the traffic, like the main road is just over there. And this fence, it's a metal fence, and she managed to get under. And I literally had to dig her out because she couldn't find the hole that she'd got in because she was only little. And I literally had to dig her out. It was like Prison Break. Escape from Alcatraz. Oh, and by the way, welcome to... I've had quite a few new subscribers on this channel lately, so welcome to everyone. Hope you're enjoying the content on this channel as well as on Michelle After Dark. So, goodbye for now. Bye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer, who's off there. Lots of sniffs in these woods. And tails. The wind's getting up, it's really high now. Somebody asked me in comments if I ever got lost when I'm out walking. No. I know these woods and these fields for miles around like the back of my hand, because I've been playing in these woods and around these fields for miles around since I was a little kid. Far too young to have been playing in these woods, really. But hey, that's what little kids do. They push the boundaries, and I certainly did. I was miles away sometimes than where my mother thought I was. But yeah, don't tell her, don't tell my mother. And if my mother's listening, they say it's just a joke. Didn't really do that, just a joke. Till he's off near a person. Right, I better go. Bye.